to another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. Before we jump in, we're going to do the usual like us shtick. So we appreciate if you like us on Facebook. Find us at our home on shoutengine.com. You can also catch us on iTunes and Google Play Music. And the currently under construction YouTube channel, and coming soon now, we'll have some Twitch stuff going again, hopefully in the coming months as well. But we'll get into a little bit of that later.
Choose your fighter!
I am your host, as always, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me is Josh the LeGrew.
Hello.
He's back. And as Dylan has dearly departed us, joining us for the first time is Kathy.
Hey, how's it going?
So Kathy joins us from the wonderful wide world of the internet and specifically Twitch. So we're gonna get started with the usual.
Oh my gosh!
Video games.
Holy fuck, Josh! What have you been playing?
Okay, so
I got
week,
$5 that he says Dragalia lost.
Yes, I actually played that for a little bit, not very much though. I went into Red Dead 2. I got Red Dead on my PS4 Pro, so I am starting that. I like it a lot. And I did not like the first Red Dead, or the second one, I should say. Red Dead Redemption 2. I did not, or the first one. I did not like it.
The Rambo naming scheme.
I know, right? It's crazy.
The second one's really the third one. The first one's the second. Yeah, it'll never be right.
You know, it's a prequel to the second one, to the first one. Yeah. No, I really am enjoying it. I've only got about 5.5, 6 hours in so far, but I'm really liking it. So next time when Eddie comes on, we're going to have to fight to the death.
Are the horse balls truly amazing?
Yeah, I haven't got to that point yet because the game starts out, you're in the cold, so.
So you're waiting for them to emerge?
Pretty much. That's what I've been doing this week. I haven't been doing too much. Work's been crazy too for me, so I actually put the handheld down this week after I started Red Dead, so I haven't got any more on Zelda or a link, for the Nintendo Video Game Book Club. Yeah, I haven't got any more on that, and I actually put Metroid down too right now, and I'm kind of sad I did that, but
how far in have you gotten?
I'm at the same spot we were last week. I just got the spider ball,
right.
And I got all that, and I'm just kind of like retracing my steps, but I really hope this weekend, I have this weekend off, so I'm hoping to get some more into that.
Nice.
That's it.
Right on. So I know what you've been playing, or at least most of it, I assume. But tell everybody else, Kathy, the fuck have you been playing this last week or so?
Well, I too have been playing Dragalia Lost. Loving that. Yes, totally am loving that game.
Thank you.
Found it by accident, so I was kind of excited when I was listening to the podcast, and I'm like, oh, somebody else who's playing it and is liking it. So, mobile-wise also. It is a great game. Nintendo really has stepped up with their mobile games, and I can't wait to see. I'm still waiting for the Zelda game, though.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. And then also on mobile, I've been playing this little game called Hole.io, where basically you just go around as a hole and suck everything up. So, but let's see, not much on consoles because I've been spending all my time on the PC playing a shit ton of games now that I'm streaming. Been playing Just Shapes and Beats. What else?
It's so good.
Well,
yeah,
you're streaming a few things.
I am streaming a few things. Just Shapes and Beats, the Room series, which just went from the iPad to the PC, so I'm kind of excited to see that. It's a bunch of puzzle games. I did Undertale.
Is that the ship you were playing?
Yeah, well, it's different rooms, and
okay.
So I found it. It's by Fireproof Games. A few years ago, they came out with the games on the iPad. While I was looking through Steam, I noticed that they were starting to bring them to the PC, and I thought, oh, I'll play these games again. And they're just basically click and point puzzle games to try to move forward and progress through. So they're a lot of fun. And so I mean, there's 4 of them. You know, the room 2, the room 3, and any guesses to the last one? What that one's called?
What, the room 4?
Closet.
Nope, you're wrong. The room Old Sins. Yeah, which is nice. But I've been streaming that. Let's see what else. Undertale. I did a whole 9.5-hour stream. Played the game from start to finish. Longest stream ever. I was. I can't say much because I know somebody who would be very mad if I spoiled it. So I'm gonna shut up about it. But
no,
great game.
Right. I'm gonna actually talk about it a little bit because I got to play some today.
Well, you got to play some, but I got to play the whole thing. So there.
I know.
And then last night I finished playing AM2R, which was recommended by someone.
Like you didn't have fucking fun with it.
Oh my god, that game was giving me heart attacks. It was making me pissed. I try to run a respectable stream.
Right.
Now, I'm serious. I don't like to curse on my stream because I do have a lot of kids who watch it.
No, yeah, I get it.
But this game, I'm like dropping shit. I almost said fuck a few times, and I would really try not to say it, but I was saying shit. Gosh damn it. I'm like swearing and cursing up a storm. I'm getting pissed because I have no clue what I'm doing. I mean, there was one stream.
The one when the alpha jumped out of the ground was hysterical.
Oh, shut up. I don't like jump scares. I cannot play games.
So Larry set you up, is what you have to say, right?
He said, oh, I got a great game for you to play. This will be well, I do like Metroid. Metroid is my second favorite series. So I actually had heard about this game, so I thought, oh, I'll play it. I wanted to play it, so it was nice to be able to play it, but god damn it, Larry, what the hell did you give me?
Believe it or not, you did way better with it. You said you were playing on easy mode, though, weren't you?
Yeah, I have to play on easy mode.
You're still doing good, though.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say, it didn't click with me in my head when I was watching you do the queen fight, because I fought long and hard with the queen to finally take that bitch down, but it was, 2 attempts for you, but then I realized, wait a minute, she's playing on,
So it's not as impressive as what you're telling me. Thanks. You're making me feel really like, I accomplished something.
Oh, it was really good. As a matter of fact,
I know. I'm like, shit. Man, I'm the new person here. You gotta be nice to me. Gosh, already ragging me. But no, that was a cool game. And then everybody's favorite on this channel, Fortnite, has been the other game I've been playing a lot of. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right, I'm gonna throw myself out here. I know that there is some like running kind of sort of story thing with Fortnite, and I am just not fucking involved in it, and I'm kind of curious as to what it is.
I am as well.
Like for the Battle Royale or for the Save the World? Now there's 2 different modes. You know, the Battle Royale
is the only one that everyone seems to actually care about.
Okay, so for the Battle Royale in Fortnite, they have seasons which run about 60 days, and starting probably about season 3 is when they started doing more themes and started actually making stories. So when I started playing about season 4, and season 4 was known as the superhero season because with the event, what movie was it? The Avengers movie?
Yeah.
That came out. So they were doing a superheroes theme. In fact, they even had a mode called Thanos mode where you got to get the gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet, and go around. Yeah. So during season 4, each week they have challenges, and if you complete them, you'd get a loading screen that would tell the story for that season. And it started off by saying, it's going to be superheroes, which turned in, it's just a movie. But then there was a rocket that was going to be launched, and it created this huge rift in the sky, which led into season 5, which basically was about all these portals that dropped things from all different worlds into the game. So there was even like a character from the US that was brought in. So season 5 was all about these portals, the merging of worlds, and then this cube appeared out of nowhere, which led into season 6, which has been nothing but this cube and monsters and Halloween themed. So they're constantly evolving the story. I mean, I could go on for hours, but I don't have hours to talk about the finer details. But yeah, so it's kind of cool because what it does is it changes up the map, it adds new elements to the gameplay, keeps the game fresh, and I know people have been complaining about the changes, especially like some of the old streamers, but when you got new people coming in with games coming and going, at least Fortnite's trying to keep it interesting and keep the game going. So I think it's fun. I love it when they add a new element to the gameplay and trying to figure out how to make it work to your advantage, and then you can't go wrong with all the different skins and all the different looks. I mean, they're all cosmetic. Nothing gives you an advantage, which is kind of cool.
Right.
But it's nice to have the themes going on and the changes. And they're also actually starting to add in tournaments too to their list of different modes. So that's definitely adding some more players into the mix, which is good.
So how are they doing the tournaments? Like, are they like you just play a bunch and it's just individual, or how does that work?
So the event, they're basically called events, and so like they just started another one I was playing. It was it's called Scavenger Pop-Up. So what it is it runs for so many days in between certain hours. So like this one, it's like today, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, and from like 5 to 10, you can play in this mode, and you just go in to just like regular game lobby, except you just play against other people who are playing, and they count up points depending on how you place, how many eliminations you get, and if you get so many points, you just earn a badge that shows that you did it. So it's just meant to be fun, something extra to get people into it. Now they said that if people earn badges, they'll invite them to more like their skirmishes, the ones where you make money and V-Bucks and stuff, but these are just more for everybody just to get a chance to play and try to earn a certain amount of points.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's nice because and like in this case for this pop-up, they're trying some different things with their game. So like they're limiting the amount of mats you can carry, they're changing up the type of weapons, they've added some new traps that you can use, so it's kind of like a testing ground also on different things that they want to try.
Oh, that's good. That's fun, though.
Well, it changes it up, and then they've got the basic modes: solo, where you play, last one standing; duos, where you play with another team member; squads, which is up to 4. I mean, and the nice thing about those is you can try to go it alone. So it's fun trying to be the single person trying to take out teams of 4. I don't do it. I can't do it. But then they've got different ones, like they would have 50 versus 50, so you'd be on one team and you try to be the last, eliminate all the members of the other team. Now they've done a new one, one that they did recently was called Disco Domination. And this one was kind of cool because you instead of getting eliminated, you'd be respawning. So you'd sit there, and so basically you'd be divided into 2 teams. There were disco platforms all around. Part of the game is that you have moats that like dances. You have to land on one, dance to raise the mirror ball and take over the floor, and you got points, and it was just whoever got to 100 first. Right. So that was kind of fun, and they brought that back. Now they got one, I haven't played it yet, it's called Food Fight. And well, in the game there is the Der Burger shop, and then on the other side of the map is Pete's Pizza. So apparently they divide the map in half.
It's a little Philly action going on here. Huh?
They divide the map in half. For a certain amount of time, you build and protect your mascot. So, and then when the barrier drops, you got to go and try to destroy the other team's mascot. So, yeah. I haven't played that one yet. I got to see what that one's all about, but they're always
It's almost like it almost sounds like a Fortnite variation on Capture the Flag a little bit.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So, but they're fun because you try all different ways of...
Well, it changes up the gameplay, which is great.
Yes, and it makes it fun because they're getting new players all the time as Fortnite has gotten more and more popular.
Right.
You can't do the same stuff over and over again, and it gets boring. I know I get bored with the game real easy.
I hear you.
And in fact, now, it's nice because I've been getting bored with it, like to the point where I'll play and just complete all the challenges because I'm a completionist, so I can't stand having challenges not completed. That's why I hate playing Zelda games or Metroid games, because if I'm already pissed off that I only got 65% in AM2R, so I'm like, oh, I gotta go back and do it again.
Yeah, I saw you screaming at that Shine Spark puzzle.
Yes.
If it makes you feel any better, I never pulled that one off either.
I was getting it, though. But I'm like, I'm not wasting my time. This is just I'm gonna rage and throw my controller.
That one specific one is a colossal pain in the asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so, but yeah, no, I mean, it helps change it up, because then it's like, okay, I don't mind playing it. And with my stream, I got a lot of kids who they're like all excited, like, ooh, I know a streamer, I can play with this streamer. Oh, this is so cool. I mean, already today I've had messages, are you gonna be on? Are you gonna play today? And I was playing before we started talking, and they're all coming into my lobby like, hey, can we play? I'm like, no, leave me alone. I mean, I was a lot nicer.
I got a thing to do.
Well, I'm like, I just want to play solos, guys. Just leave me.
Right.
They were nice, but they're 10, 11. Kids.
Kids and their weird internet friends.
Oh, yeah, I know. I keep telling.
Could you imagine if we had that when we were kids, Larry?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
We actually had to find people to play with.
Yes, and unfortunately, I never could find people because no girls played, and all the boys. And then the boys, if I did start playing, I'd kick their butt, and then they get mad and be like, "Oh, we gotta go," and then they'd end up playing, with their other friends because, oh, heaven forbid, a girl could actually beat them in any game.
Yeah, because pushing buttons is so dependent on if you're a boy or a girl, right?
Well, it seemed like it back in that.
I know,
day.
right? I know.
Oh my gosh. And I was weird like that. I was weird like that. I liked video games, but nobody else really liked them. And growing up and having all those video games to play, in fact, that's I got discouraged by it and I stopped playing for a while. So that was kind of sad, but well. Now I got my own money, I can do what I want.
That's right.
That's right. I do what I want. So, I know I had the great pleasure of getting to watch you play through it, and this is for anybody listening. This is how Kathy came to be with us. Actually, one night in my insomnia, I was poking through Twitch looking for somebody playing Just Shapes and Beats, and nobody was on. And so the next night, and I still had this bug up my ass that I really wanted to just fall asleep to somebody playing Shapes and Beats, and I came across her screen.
Oh, so that's how you found me. Okay, I was wondering. I'm like, random person.
It was. It really was. I just kind of poked through and went, oh, somebody's playing tonight, because nobody was playing the night before when I was specifically looking for it, and Kathy almost missed out on the joy of the story mode in Shapes and Beats.
Yes, I did.
So I jumped on, and I didn't realize at first that you were playing multiplayer, and I just saw you playing the song for the final boss fight, and I'm like, oh, I missed my favorite song. And we got talking, I'm like, no, oh my god, like, seriously, the story mode is amazing. And so on a whim and a suggestion, she picks up the story mode and whips through it in a single sitting, and it was an absolute ball. And I'm curious just to have you share your thoughts on because Eddie and I have talked about it at length. I'm curious just to hear your kind of recap thoughts now that it's been a week or two on the story mode for Shapes and Beats.
Oh, I thought it was adorable, and that it was cute. And actually, like you were saying when we were talking in the chat, these shapes, you got emotionally attached to them. You're kind of like, oh,
yeah,
the poor square, the ship and the helicopter. You're kind of just like, oh. Of course, that was another game I was raging at because I had a hell of a time trying to get through those levels. But yeah. I'm not good with, and the flashing lights were really giving me a headache. But it was for that type of game to, again, that's what I like about games, is they can invoke an emotion in you that even the simplest styling can just make you like, oh, and it makes you want to keep playing. So I've actually played it a few times since then, going back.
Yeah?
But I love the music. That's the other thing. I'm big on the
so good.
Yeah,
the
it's
dance
really good. Yeah.
music. But it's funny. I wasn't even gonna play that game that night. We had just gotten it a couple of days prior, and I'm like, I was gonna do Fortnite because I had no idea what I was gonna do. But I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like playing Fortnite tonight, so let's see, what can I play that might be interesting? And I just said, I'll do this. Because at that time, the only person, I think I only had 2 people watching, and it was me and my iPad. So I had it up on my phone, so I wasn't really getting viewers because I had been only streaming maybe 2 weeks. So, that was the first night I actually had people chat with me. So it was kind of like, ooh. That's why I did story mode. I did story mode because I'm like, oh, I got to keep somebody in my
Right.
in my
Keep
game.
them there. Keep them engaged.
I'm like,
felt bad if you had this game and like totally missed out on it, because honestly, the best part of that game is that story mode.
well, but I didn't know, and I just was like, I'm just streaming just to stream, and I was actually getting very frustrated with streaming at that time. So it's just weird that night, and other people joined the chat too. So it kind of reinvigorated me to keep with the streaming, and now it's like, shit, I've exploded a little bit, not a lot, but I definitely have more people talking in the chat.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
I'm very close to making affiliate, which is good, but
Great.
yeah, I still got ways to go. But yeah.
Well, I've gotten to play a little bit more of Undertale today. I'm hour and a half, 2 hours in, give or take.
Where are you at, then?
I just did the runaway from Undyne thing, where
that took me forever to figure out. I had no clue what to do.
where it keeps popping the spears up out of the floor. So I'm torn on Undertale. I really am.
Really?
Like, I have moments where I'm playing it and I'm like, I dig the idea, and then I have other moments where I'm like, I think this, like, I love quirky shit. I do, but there's a point where
There's a
on
limit.
there's a point on the quirky scale where it exits charming and it enters like irritating.
Into sad.
Oh, it's gonna affect you later on. Then I can
It's
tell
gonna
you
get
that.
bad then.
And I think that Undertale skirts that line.
It does, yes.
And like I've seen some stuff that really the story intrigues me, and honestly some of the combat mechanic stuff I thought was really neat. Like, I like the fact that it's not just menu navigation turn-based, but it's almost got like little mini bullet hell aspects to it in the I'm like, that's fucking clever. So I mean, there are parts that I really dig, and the writing on some of the characters I really enjoy. Others I'm just like, don't care, go away. But I mean, I want to know more about the story and the lore to this, and I will wholly attribute it to Game Theory's video they put up a few weeks back on what is the actual power of a human soul in Undertale, and I'm like, okay, I really want to actually see the rest of this game now. Like, I've wanted to play it. There's a reason I spent like $80 on the fucking big box special edition of it, which is stupidly cool.
It's got that Gamer, right?
Yeah, it's got amongst other things, like the big feature piece is it has this golden heart necklace locket that opens up, and it's got the music box inside it.
That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be worth it for that.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fucking slick. But I'm enjoying it. I'm just having a hard time playing it in long stretches.
Okay.
Like it's one of those that I can pick up for like an hour at a time, and then I have to put back down again.
You're playing on Switch, right?
Uh-huh.
You're talking about you got the Switch. Okay, yeah, I figured.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So it's definitely one of the bigger special editions that I've gotten my hands on. As I'm looking at my stack, I think the only one that's like physically bigger than that is the Wayfarer's edition of Octopath Traveler, which that box is still fucking huge. So, though I know that my copy of Smash is going to dwarf that, and I have a suspicion that the Thumper Special Edition is going to be good sized.
Yeah, I would think so.
So, and holy shit, that needs to ship already. That's been like for fucking ever. So, I want that in my hands. It's so pretty. But in any case, that's most of what I've been playing. I almost pulled the trigger and picked up Messenger today, and I'm like, no, I've got too much shit that I just haven't finished already, so I'm just going to let that credit sit on my account for right now.
You've got too much shit. Come on, man. I've got like 80, 90 games backlog at least.
Dude, have you seen my Switch library when I turn it on?
I did see that.
Dude, it took me more than 24 hours straight to re-download everything onto my new Switch.
That's crazy. You were talking about that.
So, it was bad. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So...
That's why I play on the PC. I don't have that problem.
Mm,
I don't have to wait 24 hours.
Yeah, but that Smash dock is so fucking cool.
Oh, it is. It totally is. Although, I did agree with you that the controllers were a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they had done more. So.
I think the whole special edition is a kind of a disappointment. It could have been a lot better with not bringing more added to it, really.
Mm-hmm. And they totally could have done something way more slick with that, with the Joy-Cons, or, you know, something on the back of the Switch. Like, but that's okay. I mean, I didn't get it because it was Smash. I got it because it has Samus on it. So.
Oh, I know you. Yeah, I know you.
I will
That's
100.
Okay. I'm like that too.
Like, it's so obligatory. I told my wife, and she just looked at me and was like, never mind. There's no point in arguing this.
Just get it.
Well, I mean, that's my Pro controller is the Zelda, has the Breath of the Wild. So yes, I know. That's the only reason why we got it.
Yeah.
I say I've got two Metroid Pro controllers for my Switch. So you
got both of them now.
Oh, you didn't see?
Didn't you just talk about the first one?
I think we talked when I got the second one, because you saw the black one, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, the black one was the second one added to my collection.
Okay.
The first one was, as far as I knew at the time, and I don't know if they've changed it, but the first one, as far as I knew, they were only selling on their website, was the totally fucking chromed out one.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I saw a different one than that as well. You know, another variant.
Really?
At GameStop, at my local GameStop, there was a wired Pro controller, and it was a Metroid addition to it, and it was a little different than that. It did not have that, you know, the metal tinge to it or anything. It was really cool.
Huh.
It was cheap, but it was an official Nintendo licensed product.
Yeah, none of them have been super expensive. They're all like $25.
Yeah, that's what this was. It was like $25.
Huh.
I'll have to go back and look, because I'll go back.
Yeah.
And find.
If you see it, send me a picture. I'm curious.
Yeah, I will.
So, but yeah, no, I mean they're both really cool. I'm torn because they feel like they've got good weight to them. And I've heard good things, and I want to play with it. I just don't want to take it out of the box. So.
Well, and that Chrome stuff does.
Like
I'm sorry. And I was going to say the Chrome is going to probably rub off. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
I've seen that on a lot of those.
Rub off, but I know it's going to fingerprint like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but you're not really into the Pro controller anyway, are you, Larry?
I'm really not, but I'm kind of curious to play with one of these Power A controllers just to see how they handle.
Oh, I love the Pro controllers. They're
I
the
do
best.
too. Hey, I do too. I love that. I mean, I played Zelda, I think all like 200 hours. I played with the Pro Controller.
Yeah.
I can't do the Joy-Cons with it.
No.
I know I'm in the minority. I'm the like the super weird person because not only do I like the Joy-Cons, but I also have like big fucking bear paws, and I still really like the Joy-Cons. So
Because I'm the same way, and I can't do the Joy-Cons.
No. And even when you stick them in the Joy-Con holder, I can't. It feels too awkward. But I wish I could set up my Pro Controller on my computer, and I just am having a hell of a time. So I have to use the Xbox stuff. So ugh, not as
I use a
cool.
Wii U. I use a Wii U Pro Controller for my PC games. Actually,
I've tried downloading it. I have to figure out how to do it because I have the Wii U
I just bought
one.
an adapter. I just bought an adapter for like $10 on Amazon.
I can't
So,
get it to work. I can't.
The
No
adapter
matter what
was
I do.
stupid easy. It was literally just plug and play.
But I'm poor. I don't have a lot of extra money to be. But I still gotta figure. I gotta get more games. I don't have a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what am I gonna stream next because I have nothing except Fortnite right now to stream.
I
I mean, I can
told
do
you I'll help with
Undertale
that.
again. Yeah, I know you will. I'm gonna get another heart attack on another game that you're gonna suggest.
Well, there's some good Black Friday deals and stuff like that coming up. I'm sure you'll be able to get something.
Nope, because I won't even be around on Black Friday. So
We can
No.
buy online. You can
No,
buy
I can't.
online now. Come on.
Let's see here. We'll pull up the library and see what's here.
oh
to share.
God, here we go.
Sure, we'll
Here we
find
go again.
something that you'll like.
I'm a little. Oh, I got a list. I wrote down every single game that you suggested that night. I was playing Just Shapes and Beats. I have a frickin' list of games right here on my notebook, along with every game that I got suggested that that you all suggested to me that night. So believe me, I got plenty of games to look up.
Ooh, I found a really good mellow. I found a really good mellow one that I forgot I had actually. It's a real-time strategy game, but it is super mellow called Euphoria.
Okay.
And it's literally just like grow trees on planets.
Oh, that sounds boring.
It does, but honestly,
Until you stream it.
Yeah.
It's
I don't want
really
to put. I
good.
don't want to put my people to sleep. How do you spell that one? I got to add it to my list.
Like I said, I'll share the library and you can just pull it up. But
Yeah, I don't trust your library.
well, you can pick through it and see if there's anything you like. But
Mm-hmm. Play a nice
Yeah.
game, Metroid game. Play these games. Freaking gonna die playing these games.
well, to be fair, half the reason that Metroid was the next one up was because it was easy enough to share because I keep it in my Dropbox.
I
I literally keep
actually.
that in my Dropbox for the explicit purpose of sharing it with everyone.
Well, and you were very lucky that I was willing to let you share a link because I don't like having people put links because I don't know what they're going to put in there and I don't want people to click on something and then
Right.
end up at some strange, inappropriate website. So I was like,
that would
I'll
never
try-
happen. This is the internet. Everybody's trustworthy, right?
Yeah, that's why my Twitch stream I have on my auto mod is set very high. In fact, I think a little too high. There's been things that have been like blocked.
Yeah, there's
that-
times I look at your auto mod and I'm like, what
Right.
the fuck?
I know. I saw that too.
Well, no, there were some. Yes, I questioned. There were others. I'm like, yeah, no, that is definitely staying in the. I mean, I can see it. I can see what it was, and I'll react. But like I said the other night, like it's not 9 o'clock yet. I still got kids watching. I am not putting that one out there. So, yeah, I like I said, I'm trying to be respectable, and because but yeah, well that'll change, I'm sure soon. Once I get more comfortable.
So,
You know, just gotta
Well-
keep it clean. Sort of.
well, kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. That's why it says, if you notice on my page, under chat, I said, keep the cussing to a minimum.
Yes, I see. I saw that. I look at your rules.
Yes, I appreciate that. So, but yeah, keep the cussing to a
There's
minimum.
been
And...
more than one time I've been corrected on streams.
So, but,
So.
yeah, it's alright.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Other than that, I think that means this is a perfect good place for us to say everybody's favorite word, break!
Hello everybody, it's your boy Eddie V. Sorry I wasn't able to make the episode, but I do want to give you guys an update of what I've been playing and kind of put in my 2 cents about one of the topics. And I know Larry's going to speak on my behalf, but I just want to add more on to that. So like I said, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, so my actual review is up on ngrradio.com. Sorry there, I have to plug. But you guys can check what I think about that and what rating I gave it. I know me and Josh probably going to discuss it and have our viewpoints once I hear this episode, so we'll talk more about that later, but it is up there. Focusing now on PlayStation 4 and Switch, so I'm gonna jump into PlayStation 4. Getting back into Bloodborne, going to be playing a little bit of that, and also Neo. Get further more into Bioshock. I'm playing on easies and being evil. That is my plan for that. Before I go back through it and then do everything by being good and saving all the girls. So I'm doing that. Also, Guacamelee Super Turbo Champion Edition. Sorry, couldn't get that out for some unknown reason. I'm playing that too, also on PS4. I have it on PS3 and I beat it, but on this one, I'm going to try to get 100% of everything and beat it there. We'll be jumping back into Horizon Zero Dawn, trying to 100% that. And for Switch, I'm playing Yoku's Island Express. I got 2 gods, or 2 of the people that they called out, so I only got 1 more to get, and a few more powers, special abilities I should say, that I need to get further into that game. Also started up Diablo 3, and it's really good. Anyone who has played probably the PS4, Xbox, and PC version, if you have a Nintendo Switch, this is a must-have to have in your library. It really looks good, plays fine. Didn't really have haven't had really any hiccups or anything, like no frame rate drops and stuff like that. I may have like a little bit of freezing here and there, but it's not so much that you could worry about. It's usually when you kind of maybe like enter another room and it might freeze, or sometimes, but it's not like that long. It's like you want, sometimes you just don't even notice it, but you can just see it, like, oh, okay, then game goes back on. So it's not really a big problem. They did a fantastic job, and we probably could see Diablo 4 coming to Switch. I think they're going to announce that game next year along with PC and consoles. It would be a good thing for Blizzard to do that, but we shall see. So that's pretty much what I've been playing. I'm going to be picking up Let's Go Pikachu, Eevee, and Battlefield 5 later on this month. My plan was to get it like really soon when those games come out, but I'm going to wait to after like Black Friday to pick them up, because they'll probably be gone by the time I get them due to work purposes. So that's what I've been playing, and hopefully I'll be getting into more. There's some more Switch games that I'm going to be playing and having to beat, in some more PS4 games. I will be jumping back into Xbox One, playing with Far Cry 5 and The Surge and some other things. But that's going to be a little bit later down in the month, because I also got Just Cause 4 and Super Smash Brothers that I want to get ready to play, because I have to do those reviews for those 2 games. So with that being said, so if you guys, when you check out this later on in the show, the guys in the crew will be talking about Team Cherry not being able to do physical copies of Hollow Knight with people that they was with. And so they're thinking of other opportunities on how to get that. And Larry's going to speak on my behalf about that, so you guys can check that out. Sorry, Larry, I had to say that. But what I think about this, it may be a little bit weird that I don't think that if we're not going to get any physical copies, I think almost to the end of 2019. Who they going to team up with is still going to be up in the air, but it's going to be a while before they do it. Now, what I kind of feel like, I think Team Cherry may have, even with all the great sales that they had, I think they're still not financially stable to hire more people in order to get this game to a physical release. Because with all the great sales that they had on PC, great sales that they had on Switch, and probably some other platforms, they should have been able to work something out with the company to get physical copies of this game. Now, what all comes into that? It might have been some, license agreements, some disputes contract wise. Like if Team Cherry, something ever happens to Team Cherry, does the rights go to the people who helped them produce the game? Like get it out on Switch. A publisher game, I should say. Do it goes to those publishers and Team Cherry loses out? Who knows? We really don't know what the contracts were. But I feel like in this time, 2019, I would say maybe around October, that we'll get a physical release of it. Who it is, I really don't know. But there's going to be some contracts, and hopefully there don't be a big dispute about it. I think if we ever find out what was the real reason on why it wasn't able to happen, it'll probably be understandable to some many, but it'll probably also be shocking to many. I, for one, now know that since I'm not getting a physical copy, I would just have to get Hollow Knight digitally at a later date. Due to the fact that I got a lot of indie games like Lightfall, Iconoclast, Yoko's Island Adventure, Bad North, and some other ones that I am really into and working on and beating. Iconoclast, like I beat it on PS4, but I want to get it. Not get it. I'm playing it on Switch also, and trying to 100% it that way. So that's just something that's personally for me. And Hollow Knight at this point in time, due to the fact that I was waiting for the physical and hearing this news, makes me just want to wait on the game a little bit more. And games, sometimes there are indie games that you could just wait for and stuff before you like finally make a decision to get in and get the digital version. Sorry about that. So but that is my thoughts on it. We shall see what happens in the future. So you guys do enjoy the news, do enjoy the rest of the show. If you guys want to hit me up, you can hit me up at Twitter at @RetroCode and check me out there. And if you guys have any questions, let me know up there and we can discuss about it. All right, have a great show, everybody, and enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend whenever you hear this episode. And I will talk to you guys next time on World 11 Podcast. Bye, everybody.
And we're back. So this is the back half of the show where we waddle ourselves right on over to the news desk. All right. So this week, near and dear to a couple of our hearts here, announcement from Team Cherry that apparently the deal they had with a publisher to bring Hollow Knight to retail has apparently fallen apart, and so there was quite a bit of chatter amongst the handful of us in our own chat actually as to what we think should happen from there, because Team Cherry said that they're still looking into some other options potentially, but as of right now though there's currently no longer any physical edition of Hollow Knight in the works. So I'm going to toss that over to Josh here and get your thoughts first.
Could we just talk about first how Hollow Knight got totally snubbed on the Game Awards, which
is
I can absolute bullshit.
There's one thing I can see in there as to a why to justify it, and it's only because the actual full version of the game was
didn't come out
in 2017.
Right. The Void Heart edition. The one.
Well, the The actual official final build, the 1.0,
Oh,
was
you're
out
right.
on
Okay.
PC last year.
Right. Okay.
So, but it got its big booming success when it hit the Switch back in June at E3, and then another bump again with the Void Heart Edition coming to PS4 and Xbox One just in the last couple weeks.
Right.
So, but the actual 1.0 build of the game was out in 2017.
So it'll be interesting to see if they actually revisit it or not, but hopefully they do. But yeah, it's terrible. To me, it's disappointing. I mean, I love the game. You know, Larry. I mean, we talked about it at length. I really do love it. I do play it almost every 2 weeks. I'm putting it back in. I'm playing it. I'm trying to get through it. It is disappointing that they canceled the physical edition. We know that, I mean, we don't need the physical edition to enjoy the game. And I know that, Kathy's got words on this, but go ahead, Kathy. What do you think?
No. I think when I sent that message, I wasn't trying to say that you don't need the physical, because that wasn't what I was going for. What I was trying to ask is, do we need the physical copy now? Because we obviously don't know
it's
what
gonna
happened.
happen.
Right. We don't know what though happened with Skybound, and I suspect that it was money, possibly.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Or
It's
even gaming rights. Yeah.
Right.
So it's either money or like they were going to lose some of their Team Cherry was going to lose some of their rights to the game, and I'm sure that they didn't want to do it. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to take a while, but they probably are under a in their contract that said they couldn't go to another developer. So I think it'll come out, but like you said, it's going to be a while. They probably have a time period where they can't go to another developer because of the contract with Skybound. So, it'll happen. And I know you guys like the collector to collect the games. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of collecting games because they just sit there and collect dust. And if I'm the type of person, I just want to play it. I don't care how I get it. If I get it online, great. It's that I don't collect games. I collect the objects. So I'll buy something to get like you got the Undertale stuff, Larry. I just wanted the locket. I didn't care about the damn game. I just want those things.
You want the physical stuff.
I want the physical stuff. That's why I get the amiibos. That's why I get the pops. That's why I got tons of other pictures, stuff like that. So that's where I was going with it, is just more trying to say they probably just can't do it for a while. But it surprised me they went with Skybound. I don't know why. Looking at some of the other developers you guys mentioned, if they're that small of a group, why did they go with such a large company?
I mean, just get some background on Team Cherry. There's only 3 people, and they work out of Australia. We all know that, first of all, Australia for video games is a kind of a caustic environment to begin with. So I mean, I don't know how many of these. I know they're putting years of their life into this game. Who knows? I mean, their official reasoning was, it's just way too much time for because we're actively developing this game. It's way too much time for just our 3 people to invest in. I agree with you, though. I really do feel that it has a lot to do with money. They're probably, they're looking at, when you do a retail release, you're going to give 30% roughly to, let's say, the whatever company, publisher that you're publishing to. You're giving 30% to whatever game store, Walmart, Target, GameStop, whatever, and about 30% goes back. When you sell a game digitally, you're getting about 65% of the revenue. The developer's getting that back. So it might just not make sense for them, and they may have to, like you said, sign a contract with Skybound for X amount of time, and they just don't want to do it. And I totally understand that. It's their IP. They can do what they want with it. So that's kind of where I'm at it too. I know it's going to happen eventually. Just don't know who it's going to go for. What do you think?
So I'll speak for Eddie for a minute, since he couldn't be here with us tonight. Eddie is pushing hard for. He wants to see Nicholas pick it up.
I know.
Which, for what it's worth, Nicholas does really good
idea,
physical standard editions. They do. that being said, my first thought, because Eddie and I argued long and hard about this, was limited run would be a good option.
That's what I thought too.
For a couple reasons. Because one, after limited run has their go with it, all the rights default back to the developer. So Team Cherry gets everything back.
They're only doing it for the production of the game for that time.
Yep. But then something else occurred to me, and I'm like, nope, there's a better option, and it's Fan Gamer.
Fan Gamer. Yep.
Because
they do tons of shit already.
Right. They've got a bunch of awesome Hollow Knight stuff up on their site already. So they've got an awesome partnership with Team Cherry as it stands. They did a spectacular job with the Undertale Special Edition. And I would totally shell out like a solid $80 for a Fan Gamer produced Special Edition of Hollow Knight.
Hell yeah.
So, in a heartbeat. I know for a fact it would come with something stupidly fucking cool.
So that begs the question, why didn't they go with them in the beginning? You know,
why? Who knows?
Yeah, I know, and I'm a little perplexed by that.
Well, you look at Skybound, I mean, I was looking at their website, and I'm like, gosh, they got a lot of, you know, they got their hands in a lot of stuff that it seems like it was almost too big of a company for Team Cherry.
It might have been a problem. I honestly think that like Team Cherry had to be way more hands-on than they thought they were going to have to be, because Skybound is such a big company. So like they weren't just like saying, give us the game and we'll do it, and then you just okay it. Because limited run, for example, that's what they would do.
Okay.
I mean, I've watched interviews with them. They literally take the game and they make it, the original developer okays it, and it's done. They don't do anything. The original developer doesn't have to do anything.
Right.
So that's kind of where they're at, you know?
Yeah.
I get it.
Like, the only big thing that I would really push for limited run for Hollow Knight is I would love to have it in a steelbook. And even then, limited run doesn't do steelbooks for all their collector's editions, just because I've gotten to talk with them a little bit. I've heard them say it because it's come up in question repeatedly as to why they don't do steelbooks for all their special editions, and it's because it's so fucking expensive for them to do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to actually produce a steelbook is expensive, and that's the problem, because they have to make the emboss. You know, they have to make them. You have to make it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
product.
gamers too. Yeah, exactly. I don't think a lot of gamers understand the actual production of stuff, and it's difficult. So,
but yeah, no, that or the other one that I wouldn't mind seeing handle it would even be Signature Edition, because they did really well with Dead Cells as well.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, there's lots of good options out there, and I really do hope I would love to see it land somewhere between those three: Fan Gamer, Signature, or
here's the kind of, for me, here's kind of a pie in the sky idea. I was wondering if Team Cherry was being approached by a major developer, maybe for acquisition. Like either Microsoft or Sony, and this would have ruined that, and maybe they just decided, we're just not going to do that right now.
Well, that's a possibility, yeah.
I would love to see them approached by Nintendo and brought under their...
Right, that's what I'm saying. Either Microsoft,
especially
Sony, or
considering
Nintendo.
the partnership they had that led up to that announcement on at E3 this year.
I mean, I guess time will tell, but I mean, there's going to be something. I think there's something else that we're not knowing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they would turn this idea down, even if it meant them putting in the extra time, the extra people, the extra whatever. Because it's a huge opportunity to get your game out there.
Yeah, there's something that's not being said, and I guarantee you, when we all find out what it is in, I don't know, 8 months to a year, we're all gonna be like, that explained.
Yep.
So, and somebody on this show, at that point, I'm pretty sure we'll probably get to raise their hands and go, called it. So I figure between the three of us, we've probably covered most of the likely options.
I think so. Yep.
But so that's the sad news. The on to the meh news. Microsoft's Exo 18 fan thing in what was it, Mexico City?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of laughed a little bit because this thing was supposed to be 2 hours, and they stretched hard to try and fill it. It didn't even fill the 2 hours really either.
Not really. It was about an hour and a half, to be honest.
Yeah. And there were a couple of interesting tidbits that came out of it. One of which has me kind of speculating a little bit, but that one being that PUBG is coming to Game Pass.
Okay. Big surprise.
Right.
I'm sorry, but just for me, this pisses me off a little bit because PUBG, I bought that on Xbox preview, okay? It has not been playable since I bought it on console.
Really?
It rubber bands so hard.
Oh.
It makes me think I'm back in 1997 playing Quake on a 56K modem.
Oh, wow.
Using QSpy to figure out which server has the best ping.
Oh,
It is
man.
terrible.
Oh,
I mean, we
man.
talked about last week how, Fallout 76 beta was bad. This is terrible. This was an alpha. I have not turned it on in, I would think, probably 3 or 4 months. And it kind of pisses me off it's coming to Game Pass now after I paid my money and I haven't even tried it. It is a 1.0 now release, and I know it's on console, and I should play it on PC and all that, but I really just wanted to play it on console, So, I mean, I got it on my Xbox, so hopefully it's better now. I'm going to try it out this week to see if it is better. But, yeah, it's coming to Game Pass, everybody, so it's free if you get Game Pass.
So the other thing that occurred to me when this announcement came down the pipeline was that it makes me wonder if this is Microsoft's last hurrah with PUBG to try and drive more players into it before they lose exclusivity with it, and it ends up on PS4.
It's already,
Yeah,
I think it's already been confirmed. It's coming to PS4, isn't it?
I thought so.
It probably has, and I just missed it. But again, I have no doubt that factored into the decision there.
Of course it did. Yeah.
So, but that was one of 12 games they announced for Game Pass.
Yeah.
Some of which were
Game Pass is
still
great, but it's still the best value in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
$10
It
a
is.
month. $10 a month. You get all these games, and they're even rolling PC into it now.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. No, I mean, no lie. Game Pass is a great deal. It makes me feel like Microsoft has just officially said, we're done trying with this generation. We'll try again next time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Microsoft is doing that. I mean, everything Microsoft is doing right now, acquiring studios, going to Game Pass, getting you used to this subscription model. This is totally for next gen. This is totally them saying, you know what? We're done. We're not done here, but we're going to come out and honestly, their competition should be worried about how they're going to perform in the next generation because it's going to be incredible. I mean, I hope that they come out with, swinging, and that's what they're doing now. But I really hope that they come out with some decent games that are exclusive to their platform. At least it's good for everybody. We get some kind of competition. It's good for everybody.
This is simultaneously the wind down and the wind up.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Which is so fucking weird to me.
I know.
I mean, you mentioned, and this was one of the other things I wanted to get to, was the studio acquisitions. That I'm looking at it going, what the fuck is Microsoft Game Studios themselves doing anymore? Like, are they still employing
343
people?
Coalition. I mean, they just kind of like disbanded them into those two.
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Like, Microsoft doesn't have an actual first-party development crew, and that's so fucking strange to me.
You did Age of Empires Definitive Edition.
So, that being said, there was one retail announcement that came out of XO8 or XO18 that I was actually kind of pumped for, and that was Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is hitting retail here next month.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's on my pickup list. So
Yep,
I'm actually really glad that I have not had a chance to play that yet.
Yeah, I haven't played it either. I know.
Bought it, so I'm not double dipping for a change.
Or tripled it. Eddie talks about
kidding.
it all the time. He loves it. So I haven't played it either, and I was thinking like, now it's coming to Game Pass. I might want to pick it up, but if it's coming to physical, I'll get it when it comes to physical edition somewhere.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They, not surprising because they've basically said that all the Microsoft first party, or at this point second party stuff is coming day and date to Game Pass, but mentioned that Ori and the Will of the Wisps is going to hit Game Pass on launch in February, and that Ori and the Blind Forest is coming to Game Pass, which I'm really stunned that they've held off on putting Ori and the Blind Forest on Game Pass this long. Like, why was that not included from the get-go? So,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows? They got contracts everywhere,
like, Ori is like one of the best Microsoft exclusives that just nobody or not enough people have fucking played.
And it really does surprise me because it's been
marketing.
cheap. It's been cheap as shit.
Yeah.
Like last year, that's when I picked it up. It was really cheap, and I just bought it, and I love it. So
Yeah.
I know that the next one is going to be great.
Oh, I sprung for a hard copy of the
Nice.
definitive edition because it had the soundtrack in there too. So that alone was worth the $30 to me. Because God, the soundtrack is so fucking good. But no, the other thing too is I was just reminded how packed Microsoft's February is, and I'm just like, this feels like a bad idea to me.
It's a totally different game though than Crackdown.
It is, but I mean, still, you know that the marketing is going to go to one game and one game only, and it's going to end bad.
So what else is coming from them in February? It's Crackdown,
And Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
and
They're
that's it.
literally like days apart.
To
Like,
me,
why
that's
would you
totally
do
different
that?
games. I don't think there's going to be a real cannibalization there. Just to me though. I mean, they're both on Game Pass, so
Right. My concern though is just them looking at how it ends up selling and whether or not it's going to merit keeping that franchise alive anymore. Like, as it stands, I'm stunned we're getting Will of the Wisps.
really.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fucking over the moon that it exists, or it's about to exist in a couple months, but I'm stunned that Microsoft looked at it and went, we're going to give this a sequel. Because Microsoft
I'm not,
never
though.
really
I'm not.
pushed it as, one of their big properties.
Yeah, but who knows how it did on PC? Because it did come out on PC, right?
Yeah.
So, I
did,
mean-
and you still just don't hear much.
No, you don't. You're right,
talk
though. There's so many games, and that's the problem today, right? Like, when we were kids, we would get, like, a few games a year. Everybody played the crap out of them. Even if they were terrible, we played them, because that's all we got.
Mhm.
And now, every 2 weeks, You can get, you got Call of Duty. Well, now all of a sudden you get Battlefield. You get, you just get everything, and you can't play them all. So I really do think that this does kind of lend itself to people that don't want, they don't want Crackdown. They want a single player game that they can just kind of play, like a 2D game, a Metroidvania, if you will. So I really think that it's going to be awesome for them. So hopefully, I'm looking forward to it.
I am too, but here's what puzzles me. It doesn't feel like it's Microsoft's audience. Like, I genuinely feel, and I cannot believe the words are coming out of my fucking mouth.
So you're talking about first-person shooter like Halo?
Yeah, I mean, the shooter audience, the big online multiplayer audience, and the sports and the simulator audience, like the Forza crowd and all that. But I honestly feel like, and don't get me wrong, the fact that we're getting a sequel thrills me. I'm concerned that the series will die after Will of the Wisps. And it makes me think that had this not come from Microsoft, but had this come from Sony, that it would have gotten a lot more love.
Oh, yeah. Sony gets a pass. I mean, they get a pass. Nintendo gets a pass. Microsoft is getting the hate right now. And it's all because of 2013. And we all know what happened there. We're not going to go back and rehash the past. But,
Well, it's not even that. It's just, it's so out of left field for the audience that Microsoft generally caters to.
And I agree with you.
Sony tends to do more to promote its more artsy inclined stuff than Microsoft ever really does.
Right. And I do think that with Phil Spencer, he does look at what they need. And what they need is they need an RPG. They need a JRPG. They need, the Western RPGs. They need a platformer. They need the first-person shooters. Then they need this. And when there's something that doesn't fill, they don't, I don't mean to, his name is Phil, but, doesn't fill a hole. they go to that. So that's what he did when he worked for Microsoft Games. I mean, he was the first party for a long time. That's what he did. He looked for whatever game that needed to fill that hole and would just get it. So I really do feel that that's what he's doing now. He's like saying, okay, we don't have this, we need this. So I really feel that, like with, Ori and the Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps, that is going to be filling that, that Metroidvania 2D platformer hole that they need. And I wouldn't be surprised if they greenlit another game in that series. Let's see. I mean, hopefully the sales will go up because, I mean, it's a great game.
I'm going to chime this in. I'm going to throw it over to you, Kathy. But and that's one of the other things that kind of perplexes me about them doing day and date stuff with Game Pass with this is how does that affect actual sell-through numbers if people are just playing it on Game Pass and then never actually buying a copy? Does that get figured in somewhere?
I don't know, because see, I don't really know much about the Microsoft. I've always been Nintendo, it's always been PC, so hearing about all these Game Passes and everything, and it's like it's a great idea, kind of like almost like the try it before you buy it type thing, but it's just, it could either be a really great thing or it's going to really screw them up. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch and see what happens. I mean, like you said,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just, like I said, I'm not real familiar with it because I've been with more Nintendo. I'll admit, Nintendo and PC, and that's it. Microsoft and Sony were never big things for me. I always thought it was a waste of money. I didn't like their games. I didn't like their content. But that's just not what I was into. So It took a long time. I didn't get my first Microsoft console until 2016, and the only reason why I got it was to play Skyrim. So,
Okay, fair. Well, now you can do it
so-
on a Switch.
Well, no. Oh, no. I had. That's what got us our PC computer. I purposely, once I started playing, I'm like, I'm missing out on so many games that are available on the PC because we hadn't had a PC in for like years. So we
Right.
purposely last year, actually, my computer's a year old now. We purposely bought a gaming computer that's so that we could do stuff like play the PC games and play the and do the streaming and everything. So really, I never got into the PlayStation. I never got into Microsoft. I thought they were a waste of time, and I didn't care for their games. I thought they were stupid. So, I'll admit I'm a little behind on all that stuff. And personally, if I can get it on another platform, I would rather stick with the other platforms. I just find them more enjoyable. I feel like Microsoft and Sony really are just not worth it.
Okay.
There's a few exclusives on each of them that I have great interest in, and no lie, a big part of the reason I have an Xbox One myself isn't because I sprung the money for it. It was gifted to me, and it was actually gifted to me. Part of the purpose was, by the way, here's a copy of Ori pre-installed on it. Play it, you're gonna fucking love it. So
yeah, you got nice friends. I don't have that.
Well, now
Everything
you do.
I had to buy everything on my own.
it was a wedding gift. So
I didn't get any games for my wedding. I'll tell you that much. Jeez.
You're not registering the right places then.
Yeah, like I'm actually kind of stunned. GameStop doesn't have a wedding registry anywhere.
They should. They
I
should.
know.
You know what? I totally would have loved it, but yeah, no, I would have been totally vetoed. I'm really unusual in my family that I like games that much. So, yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else really stunning coming out of XO18, and those were really kind of the highlights for me. There's more Sea of Thieves stuff coming if that's your cup of tea.
They bought two new studios.
Yeah, I was saying one of them is
talked about
definitely a
that before.
big fucking deal because that's fucking Knights of the Old Republic. So
You're talking about Obsidian? Yeah,
So-
I mean Obsidian and InXile. Big deals because they're two Western RPG. They both do the same things, but they create some just super iconic content.
yeah,
Like InXile. Really, Wasteland, Bard's Tale. That's them. And Obsidian. Everybody knows what they do, so it's kind of like it's pretty impressive. So we'll have to see. None of this stuff is exciting right now. It's going to be exciting in 2020, 2021.
Well, that or unless they had stuff cooking already and then just said we're officially going to lock it up.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm sure they were doing something. So.
But yeah, and the only one that I could really see out of the ones that they made a big fuss about, buying was Ninja Theory, just because they just so recently wrapped on Hellblade.
Well, and it was so critically acclaimed. And it was that game that everybody was talking about,
Yeah.
So that was great.
Yeah, they've got a great stable to hopefully rebolster their first party and make it something more than Forza.
Yeah, exactly. In Forza, let's be fair. That's the best racing game out there.
Oh yeah, Forza totally shattered the
Gran Turismo.
Oh yeah. It used to be
It's
that
over,
was
yeah.
the standard, but
Right.
it took them so long to put them out that Forza on a yearly basis shut that down. So
Right.
but in any case, I think that's a good place to wrap for this week. I want to thank both of you for joining this week. As always, you can find us at our home on shoutengine.com, Google Play Music, iTunes. We appreciate the ratings and reviews and all that. You can always check out the YouTube page, that's under construction. We're adding some fun stuff to that to get ready for January. Some things to look forward to. The Twitch channel hopefully coming to life here in the next couple of months, give or take. Kathy's actually going to be running the show on that for us. So with that said, actually, as a matter of fact, Kathy, where can the fine 3 people that listen to our show find you on Twitch?
Well, they can find me at twitch.tv/VioletStorm27. That's my channel. You can't miss it. It's got a violet, it's supposed to be a violet. Somebody told me it looks like a Metroid. And with a lightning bolt.
I did not say that.
No, that was not you. I know who said that. That was nobody. But you looking at it, yeah, it kind of looks like the inside of a Metroid. Once they said, I'm like, oh, darn it. But I'll take it. So yeah, no, twitch.tv/VioletStorm27. My schedule of when I stream is there. You know, I stream all different types of games. Fortnite, like I said, is right now the primary, but as I increase my library of video games to play based on suggestions, so yeah. And you can also follow me on my Twitter page. I do have Twitter at VioletStorm27 as well. So.
Okay.
And Josh, where can the fine folks find you?
All right, you can find me at LaGrew on Twitter, LAGREW, my last name, and the LaGrew on Xbox, and the LaGrew on PS4, and just LaGrew on Steam. That's because I haven't lost my email, so that's why I'm the LaGrew on the other stuff, because when I lost my email at one time, I couldn't get back to LaGrew. So.
And even though he's not here for Eddie, we'll let you know you can find Eddie just about anywhere you can find a podcast, because Eddie is the internet's biggest
NRD,
podcast
optional opinion or whatever. Yeah,
like,
he's
just
all
search
he's all there.
podcast and he'll come up somewhere.
Eddie V, he's there. He pops up.
So, well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, have a good night.
Peace out.
Peace.